Hello everybody, Antoine here, and in this video I'm going to be doing 7 example or walkthrough solves, or whatever you want to call them, for solving Q one-handed. The scrambles will be in the description if ever you want to follow along. Just a quick warning, I solve on orange, so I'm sorry if you have a bit of a hard time following along, but that's what I use and I can't change. So this is the first scramble. The first thing I would see on this scramble is these two cross pieces, and this one, and also this one. So the way I would do the cross on this is I would do UD prime, and then I would do an F move in order to solve this, and at the same time these two are correctly oriented and they're over the right spots because the cross is off by a U2. So I would solve both of these. And this one is also at the right spot, so I'll go like this, solve it, and then just fix the cross back. Now the first thing I see is this, so these two pieces go together, so I'll go ahead and solve these, like that. Now I also notice these, so that's the pair I'm going to do next. So like this, set these two up. And now I notice this corner and this edge. So now for this pair, some people might do something like this and then insert it like that. But what I would do for this case is, instead of changing the orientation of this edge, I would change the orientation of this edge because it's the last layer edge and it's not oriented properly. So to solve this pair, I would do like that. So U2, and then that edge goes in the slot. And by putting it back in, it changes its orientation, and it's now correctly oriented. Now the last pair, just these two, quite simple. Like that. OLL, I also notice I'm going to get diagonal swap PLL. And V perm. Now for the second solve, I noticed the cross pieces, so this one's here, 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 and here. So I'll solve this, I'll put this one here so that I can solve this one, and I'll move this cross piece up to here like this, so that when I solve this cross piece, this one will go here, and I can go ahead and solve it, and then just get the cross. And as I do that, I'll notice this, so I'll remove it so that I can go and solve the next one. Solve it as the first pair. So I'll solve it, and I noticed these two as well. So I'll go ahead and solve this, and now I'll solve this one. Like that. This pair, and I also noticed this one and this one. So I'll solve that one next. Like that. Now I know that I'm gonna have edges oriented once I do the L to insert the last edge, and I'll do COL and EPLL. Now for the third solve, I notice the cross pieces are here, 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 and here. This case isn't all that great. What I would do for this is I would solve this piece adjacent to this. So I would go, and I would also orient correctly this edge, so it would go like this, and then I'll just swap out this and this, like that. I quickly notice this pair, and I'll go and solve it first, and I see these two, and I notice these two connect, so I'll get an easy next pair. That, and I also noticed these two. I don't know what case it'll get once it's separated, like that. I'll go solve it, OLL, and PLL. In this case, I didn't do AUF, PLL, AUF, because it was already at the right spot, and this the alg I use is especially good when you don't have to do any AUF at the end. So for this this cross isn't actually it's quite terrible actually. So the cross pieces are here, 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 and here. I noticed that this piece and this piece are not adjacent, and neither are these and these. So what I would do is I would do an F move like that, and it'll orient this one at the same time. So what I'll do is I'll do a U2 so that this one and this one are correctly positioned relative to each other. I'll solve this, and then I'll go and solve the last cross piece. Like that. First thing I noticed is this, so we'll go ahead and solve it. That. And I noticed this one and this one, so I'll solve that one immediately after. I also notice this, so I know I can solve that one right after as well. Like this. Now I've got this last F12 case, and what I'll do is I'll solve this case while orienting this edge. So the way I solve it is I go like this, and I know that the edge that I put here will be flipped, so I'll go like that and solve it. That, and oops, COL, and because I see that these are opposite colors, I might get a skip, but no guarantee, and I did get a skip. So that would actually be a pretty good solve. Now for this case, so I've got the cross pieces here, 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 and here. This is quite a bad case as well. What I would do for this is I would bring this piece down, and because this piece and this piece, if I do this, I can solve them relative to each other. So I'll go like that and solve it, and then I'll solve this one. So like that, put it here, and then I'll go and put this one here. Like that. First thing I notice is these two, and I'll go ahead and solve it, and I notice these, so I know I'll get it. I think it'll get a 3-move insert actually. Nope, not quite. So I'll go and solve these two. I also notice this and this. I'll go ahead and solve this one, and also closely watch these two, and I'll solve the other two. Well, and G-perm. I like to solve this G-perm as I think the first, maybe second solve I showed. I like to solve it with the AUF already done. For this cross case, the pieces are here, 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 and here. So this is a bit of a tricky case. It's not very difficult, but there are many ways you can solve it. The way I would solve it is I would move this one here so that I can solve this one relative to this, and I can solve this one as well. So I'll go R prime F like that, and then solve the last piece while rotating. And the first thing I see is these two, so I'll go ahead and solve it. And while I do that, I notice this one and this one. And now I'll solve this one while making sure I'm changing the orientation of an edge which is already unoriented, so that's good. I notice this one and this one, but I also notice this. Yeah, I'll do it anyways. Like that, and then the last pair. I'll just do it like this. OLL, PLL, G-perm, same as last solve. Like that. Now for this solve, the cross pieces are here, here, and here. So I would first solve this piece, which goes here, like that, and then I'll solve this one, like this, at the same time moving this piece. And I notice this one, and I know this will stay as it is, so it'll be my first F12 pair. So I'll go like that, and then I'll solve this one, and I also notice this. So I would have done this one, but instead I noticed this, which is much easier. So I'll go and do that. And now I'll go do this. And now I would insert this one with a sledgehammer so that I know that I can get all edges on top oriented case, because when I have an edge flipped in a slot, I know that I can solve edge orientation when there's just one flipped on top, and this one will inserting this with sledgehammer will get these to the correct orientation. So I'll do this, and I'm left with this. So basically I swap this edge and this edge, so it'll change the orientation of these two. We'll get right on top, I'm COL, this and this is the same color, and these are not opposite or the same. I don't know any ZBLs of this case, so I'll go ahead and do COL, and I get HFRAM. So that was the last solve of the video. I hope this was helpful. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything fancy in any of the solves, really. But I don't really do anything fancy other than CBL and 2GL and stuff like that. So it's actually quite representative of what I do normally. Yeah, I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment or private message me. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.